Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining. Sunil here. Can you hear me? Please confirm in the chat box. Thank you, Durga. Thank you. Thank you for your confirmations. Let's stop the chat. Let us stop the chat. Okay. So what's my plan for today's session? My plan is to introduce to you two more services. One is a simple queuing service. The other one is simple notification service. And I also want to discuss about CloudWatch. These are the three services which I want to discuss in today's class. SESQS, simple queuing service, SNS, simple notification service, and CloudWatch. This is my plan for today's session. So as usual, before getting into today's session, so let's have interaction this time with Ikramullah.
Hi, Sunil.
How are you, Ikram? You are from which location?
Good. Actually, I was waiting for so long to have interaction with you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm like really grateful for this class and all these sessions which you are doing for free.
Thank you.
I'm attending all these from UK here.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think it's very odd time for you in UK. It's
very odd time, but
midnight, 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock, I think so.
Yeah, I did miss some sessions because of this reason, because I couldn't make it till this time. So
Okay.
yeah, but I really enjoy when you teach. I like the way you teach.
Thank you, Ikram.
So really appreciate it.
If you're happy, please refer to your friends about our new batches. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. I'll definitely do.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ikram. Anything more? Any technical questions?
No, nothing.
Thank you. Very happy to talk to you. Okay. So
thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Very, very happy with your interaction. Yogesh Kagu. Yeah, good morning. Yogesh Kagu. You need to unmute and talk. By default, you'll be on mute. You have to unmute and talk. Rishabhendra, how are you doing?
Hi, Sunil. Good morning.
Good morning.
I am doing good. And how about you?
Yeah, doing well. Yes, your question.
Yeah, it's regarding to DevOps. In installing and working with Jenkins, you told it's required a JRE. But in my situation,
your question is related to DevOps or AWS?
It's related to DevOps. Okay. Very little bit.
Sorry, Rishabhendra. We can figure in DevOps. Okay.
Okay. And in AWS, I have if my account is terminated because of I didn't pay bill.
Suspended. It is called suspended.
Okay, it is suspended. Then
when you don't pay the bill, your account will be suspended.
Okay. Yeah. Can I make this with same email ID? Can I make another time?
Not same email ID. You need to create a new email address. Okay. And same debit card will work.
Okay.
Okay.
Clear. Thank you.
Thank you. Kishore Nukala.
Yeah. Hi, Sunil. How are you?
I'm doing well, Kishore. How are you doing?
Sunil, this is regarding next DevOps class. Actually, I couldn't attend the 11 o'clock one. Are you planning 4:30 batch?
Time is not yet decided, but definitely I'm planning. So
okay,
you stay in the group so that you get the updates. Okay, Kishore? You can join the next
Thank
batch.
You, Thank you.
Okay. Happy to talk to you. Happy.
Yes, Sunny, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Happy. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for allowing me to to mention my concern. It concerned the DevOps actually. Yeah, so yesterday I was trying to practice. I was going through the video. I was trying to deploy the Jenkins automation server.
You're talking about DevOps.
Yeah, DevOps, yes.
Any questions on AWS?
No, DevOps. DevOps.
Okay.
My concern is on DevOps.
So DevOps doubts, we'll have it on DevOps batch. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Isn't it? Okay. I hope you're understanding.
All right.
Thank you. Hemant Sharma.
Yeah, hi Sunil.
Good morning, Hemant. Yes.
Actually, my question is regarding the courses. Like, do you provide any Azure course, just like you're giving the AWS?
We are planning to start Azure, but not by myself. We have a different instructor. Okay. So
can you
once,
please suggest?
Yeah. Once the schedule is ready, I'll update you in the WhatsApp group, Hemant. Okay. About the Azure batch.
Yeah, on the same WhatsApp group of the
in the
AWS,
same,
right?
Yeah. In the same WhatsApp. Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, Hemant. What else? How is your learning on AWS?
Yeah, it's going good.
Okay. Thank you, Hemant.
Hi, Sunil. Good morning.
Yes, Yogesh.
How are you? Thank you so much for your sessions. That's
Thank
really
you.
helpful.
Thank you, Yogesh. Yeah.
Yeah, a quick question on the load balancer. So, apart from Classic, will you also be explaining the other type of load balancer as well?
Okay. I'm planning to discuss application load balancer. Give me some time. Okay.
All right. Yeah, that works. Thank you.
Let's move on. So this is our plan for today's session: simple queuing service, notification service, and CloudWatch. Let's look at the slide. What does slide says? SQS is a message queue. It's a queue, message queue. Something like MQ series or something like that. Use it to store messages while waiting for a computer or a server to process them. When there are more number of requests, to make sure that every request is processed, we need to maintain a queue. So the server will pull up the request from the queue and then process it. So queuing service is important, especially for applications when there are more number of requests need to be processed. In what scenarios these queuing services are used? We all have an experience of booking the cab in Ola or Uber, isn't it? When you try to enter the from location and the to location, and when you try to book the cab now, okay. So do you remember, Yogesh, do you remember it will take 1 minute, within 1 minute, either the ticket will be, either the cab will be booked or you get a message, you need to retry again. Agree or not, Yogesh?
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And I hope you can understand at one point, at any point of time, there will be thousands of users trying to book their cab. Agree, Kishore? Isn't it? So, Yogesh, isn't it, Yogesh? So to make sure that every request is properly processed, okay, we need a queuing service. In those kind of scenarios, we go for using a queuing service to make sure that every request is processed. Queue is a temporary repository. Obviously, it's a temporary repository for messages. Messages are nothing but requests waiting for them to process. So where exactly simple queuing service comes into action? Okay, so let's try to understand at what layer the simple queuing service is used. Rohini, can we have a talk?
Sure, sir. Thank you for inviting.
If you look at this diagram, using Road 53, we link the domain name to load balancer. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
So if anybody accesses the application using sunilcloud.com, or it could be flipkart.com or whatever it is, or uber.com, whatever it is, the request will go to load balancer. You know, load balancer will have EC2 machines attached to it. The load balancer will take the request and then it distributes to the web servers, web server 1, web server 2, and web server 3. Okay. Now, point is, web server can only deliver web pages. The actual application will be running on the application server, isn't it, Rohini? The
Yes.
actual application will be running on the application server. So the point is, for example, take an example. People who are non-technical, people who are not having much idea on application server, I'll give you a simple example. Web server can only deliver the web pages. For example, ICICIbank.com, and I log in, I get a web page. So there will be a web server, but actual banking application will be running on the application server. So web server, we log into web server, and request should be processed by, actually the request is processed by which component, Rohini? Application server.
Yes,
like
sir.
we have multiple web servers. To balance the load, we can have multiple application servers. You can see here application server 1 and application server 2.
Yes, sir.
The component SQS, as I said, the queue,
Mhm.
the request will be waiting in the queue where it plays a role. It plays an important role in communication between the web server layer and the application server.
Application level.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where exactly queuing services are needed? Queuing services are needed in communication between the web server and application server. When a client or an application or a business do not want any particular request to be leaved because of heavy traffic, they have to go for a component called queuing services. Okay. So simple queuing, I just want to show you in this diagram where exactly simple queuing service plays a role. The simple queuing service plays a role between the communication between the web server and the application server. Am I clear, Rohini?
Yes, sir.
And if you see, finally, there will be database server, agree? So the database will be residing the database server. So this is how the architecture looks like. The request will go to load balancer. Load balancer will distribute the traffic to the available web servers. Web server should handle the request should be handled by the actual application which is running on the application server. When there are more number of requests, so there will be a queue. So the request will be waiting in the queue, so to process them. So that's how the queuing services are used to make sure that every request is processed by the application server. And if application needs any data, it will be communicating to the database server. So that's how it happens. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So next, try to understand the statements. It's a backup mechanism for application server. It is a backup mechanism for application server. The backup mechanism for application server is SQS. How SQS acts like a backup mechanism? Let's try to understand. All the requests from web server will be stored in queue. Do you agree, Rohini?
Yes,
The
sir.
request from the web server will be stored in queue.
Queue.
Now it is the responsibility of the application server to pull the request from the queue.
Yes, sir.
Agree?
Yes,
It is the responsibility of the application server to pull the request from the queue. So SQS is controlling the flow of request. When there are huge number of requests, Rohini, we don't want request to fail, isn't it? So we want the request to be in a queue so that one by one it gets processed. So queuing plays a very important role. Okay.
Yes.
Queuing is not mandatory for every architecture, for every infrastructure, but especially for applications where there are more number of requests need to be processed, then it's always recommended to use queuing services.
Okay, sir. We can have multiple SQS, right, sir?
We
Queuing
can have,
services.
there is no need for multiple SQS because there's no restriction of size or something like that with respect to SQS. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Next, look at the statement. One minute, please. I got an important call. Okay. So I'm back. So queuing will flow the request. Look at this.
Yes, sir.
SQL will control the flow of the request. So all the requests will be waiting in the queue. Application server will pull the request from the queue. That's fine. This is very important, Rohini. Try to understand the statement.
Okay, sir.
The request will be waiting in the queue. Agree?
Yes, sir.
Assuming 100 requests are waiting in the queue. Okay.
Yes, sir.
It is whose responsibility to process the request?
SQS.
Application. SQS is just a queue. It is
Yeah.
whose responsibility to process. Processing is done by the application server.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's application responsibility to pull the request and process it. Okay.
Yes.
Once the request is pulled, as you visualize, there are 3 requests, Rohini.
Mm-hmm.
How many requests are waiting in the queue? 3 requests. Once the request is pulled from the queue, the request is SQS will not be deleted. Please don't think that the moment it is pulled.
Mm-hmm.
We are assuming that how many requests are waiting in the queue? 3.
3.
Once the request is pulled, please don't think that it will be deleted. No, it will not be deleted. It will be invisible. Deletion is different. Invisible is different.
Okay.
Once the application server will pull the request, that particular request will be invisible for how many seconds?
30
30
seconds.
seconds.
Okay.
Within 30 seconds, the application server should process the request. Do you remember in Uber or Ola, within 1 minute, either the ticket should be booked or it should be either the cab should be booked or we should try again, isn't it? That's called limit. Okay.
Yeah.
So here the limit is what? 30 seconds. Within 30 seconds, the application server should process the request. Within 30 seconds, if application server is successfully processed,
Mm-hmm.
if the ticket is successfully processed by the application server, then only it will be deleted.
Okay.
Invisible is different, deletion is different. Okay. Now tell me when the request will be deleted from the queue.
Once the application server is processed with the request.
Process the request successfully, then only it will be deleted.
In case like it is not processed,
that's the next statement. Within 30 seconds, if the application server is unable to process,
mm-hmm.
okay, then it will be visible again.
Okay.
That particular request will be visible again, so that maybe second application server can process, or the same application server will retry again. Okay. So the default time limit is what? 30 seconds. Within 30 seconds, application server should be, the moment application server will start processing the request, it will be invisible.
Mm-hmm.
If it is successfully processed the request, then it will be deleted. If it is unable to process the request, again the request will be visible back.
Yes.
Okay. If there are some cases, application server may take more than 30 seconds. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
A request is not guaranteed that it will take only 30 seconds. Maybe it will take 1 minute or it can take 2 minutes to process the request. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's customizable. This 30 seconds is the default limit. We can increase the that is called visibility timeout. Visibility timeout can be increased from 30 seconds to 1 minute, 2 minutes, 10 minutes, depending upon the type of the request. It can be up to 12 hours.
Okay.
By default, SQS will maintain the request for how many days? 4 days. A queue, a request will be maintained maximum number of days in a queue is 4 days. With the default days, maximum you can maintain the request in 14 days. A request can stay in a queue for a maximum period of how many days? 14 days. The default period is
4 days.
The visibility timeout default is 30 seconds. The maximum visibility timeout is 12 hours. Okay. Simple queuing service acts like a very important role between the communication between the web servers as well as the application servers. Okay. End users will be always working on the web server. They send a request. The request will be waiting in the queue to process. Once it is processed, that request will be deleted. So that's how it happens. Clear how exactly, Rohini, a simple queuing service acts like a communication between the web server layer and application server layer. Okay. Any questions? Queuing service. Jeevan. Good morning, Jeevan. Can you hear me, Jeevan? I cannot hear you. Moraine, Django.
Hi, Sonny.
How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. And you?
I think we had discussed long time, probably in the beginning of the batch once.
Yes.
Am I right? And then this is the almost we are at end of the batch. We're discussing one more time. Are you regular?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
You're
How is
so
your-
physiognomist.
Sorry?
Thank you for everything. You're so physiognomist, so you could make out that we discussed before.
Okay. I remember that. How is your
Yeah.
learning experience?
Oh, I am experiencing something. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Mhm.
I'm a novice, but I'll tell you that I've learned a lot from you. And
Thank you.
I know the journey is still long and I'm going to make it.
Sure. All the best for your career.
Yeah. Thank you
Any
so
technical
much.
questions?
Yes. Please, I was just asking myself, what's the difference between a web server and an application server?
Okay. Look at the name web server.
Yeah.
Okay. It will only serve web pages. Web pages are nothing but the HTML pages or PHP pages. That's it. To
Okay.
the browser. That's
Okay.
what it's called a web server. Okay.
Yes.
If you want any product to run, product is something like a banking application. Okay. If you want any
Yes.
product application to be executed properly, learning, it should be hosted on the server. Example, the
Okay.
banking application or a CRM application, customer relationship management, or a hospital management system. These are all applications,
Yeah.
Maureen. So
Yes.
these kind
Andy.
of applications, once they are developed, once the development team develops the application is up and running, it should be placed. If it placed on the web server, it will not work because it only deliver web pages. You should place it in the application server.
Application.
Okay.
Okay.
Examples of
Okay.
application servers are JBoss, we have WebLogic, WebSphere. These are all some examples of the application servers. Okay. So application
Okay.
servers, look at the name, it will serve application to the end user. Web server will only serve web pages. Okay. For example, if
Okay.
you want to build if you want to build a simple website with home, about you, and your contact page and your services, your hobbies, you want to build a small web application. You want to build a small website. For that, web server is enough, Maureen, because what you do is you create web pages. So web pages, web server can deliver. But if you want to deploy a particular product like a HRMS product or a CRM product or a banking
Okay.
application or a hospital management system or ticket booking application, so it should be hosted on the application server. Okay. So that's the difference between web server and application server. So technically, you will find web server. Behind the web server, there will be application server. Behind the application server, behind the application server, we'll have a database server. Okay.
Thank you.
Isn't
Yes.
it?
Thank
So
you.
communication happens from the web server to the application server. If application needs any data, it will contact the database server and get the data. Okay, that's how it happens. And
Yes.
queuing service plays a role between communication between the web server layer and the application server layer.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you so much, Sonny.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Am I right, Rohini? What did I say as of now?
Yes, sir.
My communication with Maureen, am I right?
Yes, sir. So one question I have, other than SQS, like, do we have any other option to?
SQS is a service from AWS. Okay.
Okay.
This concept of queuing services can also be implemented on non-AWS platforms. Also, we have RabbitMQ, MQ series. Have you heard about these kind of services?
No, sir. Actually.
So those are. We also have third-party products which acts like a queuing services between the web server and application server. Non-AWS platforms can also be done. Can also be handled. Okay.
But if we're adopting the AWS infrastructure, then we should
obviously. If the clients are maintaining web servers on AWS, if the clients are maintaining application servers on AWS, then SQS needs to be used because that's also part of AWS. Okay. Is that it?
One last question, sir, regarding read-only replicas. We yesterday spoke about that one.
Database.
In this one, where it will come into the picture in this architecture.
Here, database, that is database layer. Okay. Here we have database. Okay. So this will be handled using RDS. Okay. So here you will find read replicas. Okay. That is for heavy read operations from the application server to the database server. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Yes. So we cannot do this theoretically. A lot of setups are involved for the application. For the reason why I'm discussing the queuing services is that you will get one question from the certification about queuing services. The question what you get is, what is the default visibility timeout? The answer is the default visibility timeout is 30 seconds. The next question you may get it is, where exactly the simple queuing service plays its importance. It plays its importance between the communication between the web server and the application server, and how many days the maximum number of days a request can be maintained in the queue, that is 14 days. So you may get this one of the questions. Okay, so that's the reason, Rohini, we are discussing this queuing services. Okay,
Yes, sir.
let's move on to next service called as a notification service. We already have discussed about notification service, Rohini. I think we have learned when we learned about the auto scaling. Whenever the auto scaling creates a new EC2 machine, when the load increases more than 70%, Rohini, the auto scaling feature will help in creating the new EC2 machine. Once the new EC2 machine gets created, we get a notification as an AWS team, isn't it? So notification services. Okay. Let's try to understand what is simple notification service exclusively.
Yes, sir.
When auto scaling launches a new mission, as an infrastructure team, you should receive a notification. You should receive an email at so and so time the new mission got created.
Yes, sir.
In Route 53, we have failure policy. When the primary region is down, automatically the traffic will go to secondary region. That's good. But as an infrastructure, you should know that the primary region is down.
Yes, sir.
So how can we receive, as an infrastructure team, let's say you are a group of 10 people maintaining the infrastructure to your client, we should receive notifications what's happening in the background. It may be happening automatically, that's good, but you should receive information saying that at this point of time the EC2 machine got created, at this point of time the EC2 machine has been deleted because of low network, at this point of time the primary region is down. How can we receive the notification? We can receive the notification using the service called as notification services, simple notification services. Okay, so let's say we are a group of 10 members maintaining the infrastructure for our client. We 10 members are called as subscribers. Subscribers are nothing but the end users who are receiving the notification, or the AWS infrastructure team who receives the notification are called as subscribers. So what we need to do to experience the notification service, what we need to do, we need to create a group, and then we need to add email addresses. Email addresses are not also called as subscribers to the group. Okay, so we already know this, isn't it, Rohini? We have done this once. Okay, but let's do this. Let's create a topic. Group is nothing but a topic, and then we need to have subscriptions to that particular topic. So let's do that. Under services, we have application integration. Under that, we have simple notification service.
Sir, are you going to take any Python classes?
No. Do you want to learn Python?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay.
Java candidate, actually. I want to learn Python. So,
okay.
Any references, sir? Any other lecturer?
Send an email to me. I can reply to you. Okay.
Okay, sir. The same email ID, right, sir?
Yes.
Okay, sir. Sure.
Oh God, the machines are still running. So I forgot to terminate it. So this happens. I forgot to stop. Let's experience simple queuing services. Under services, we have application integration in that notification service. Notification service, you're right. Application integration. Under applications integration, we are looking for notification service, simple notification service. This is how the simple notification service dashboard looks like. Go to dashboard. Right now, there are 0 topics, Rohini, and 0 subscribers. So let's go ahead and create a new topic. Okay.
Yes,
topic
sir.
name can be anything. So Go for standard. Topic name can maybe. I'm creating it as my topic 1. That's it. Creating topic as simple as that, and then I can add subscriptions. Right now, this topic, you can see the topic which you have created in the dashboard now. This is the topic 1 topic which you have created. You can see in the dashboard. This is the topic, and right now this topic is having 0 subscriptions. Okay, we need to add subscriptions. Subscriptions are nothing but email addresses. So create subscription. I want to receive a notification. There are different protocols in which we can receive a notification. I can receive an SMS. Okay, when a EC2 machine gets created, but I want to receive communication through my email. If it is email, the endpoint will be email address. If it is SMS, obviously the endpoint will be the mobile number. So I will be providing my email address. That's it. You can have multiple email addresses separated with comma. So I have creating a subscription. I'm done with creating a subscription. I have created a topic. The name of the topic is my topic 1. Right now, this topic is having 1 subscription. 1 topic can have a number of subscriptions. And as I want to receive notifications, I should confirm saying that I agree to receive notifications from AWS. So let me log into my AWS Gmail account, and I confirm and agree to receive notifications. AWS subscription confirmation, and I need to confirm that I'm ready to receive notifications. Yes, the subscription has been successfully confirmed. Okay, so done. Now, previously you can see the status, it is pending confirmation. Now I have confirmed it. When you click on refresh, you can see the subscription has been confirmed. Like this, a topic can have a number of subscriptions. Now, how to use this particular topic? What's the name of the topic, Rohini? The name of the topic is my topic 1.
Yes, sir.
Now, where should we use this topic? Topic can have a number of subscriptions, isn't it? Topic may have a number of subscriptions, it may have 100 subscriptions also. That's not a problem. But how do we use this particular topic? I'll show you.
Okay.
Let's understand how can we use this particular topic with respect to auto scaling feature. Let's go to EC2 service. Under launch configuration, let's create a new launch configuration. My launch configuration using pick up an AMI. That's okay. I'm randomly backupping CentOS operating system instance type ST2 micro. Launch configuration successfully created. Next, I want to create an auto scaling group using the launch configuration. Here in step 3, you will have an option of adding the notification. Basing on this launch configuration, so go to actions and want to create an auto scaling group. When you go to create auto scaling group, please observe, this is important. What in auto scaling group name, that can be anything, ASG1. Based on the launch configuration, fine. Look at this step 3. Okay, you are right now, you're in step 1. Next, where do you want the EC2 machines to be created? In this particular VPC, in this particular subnet, that's fine. Next, I want to attach it to load balancer, that's fine. Next, group size, that's fine. You know all the features. Add notification. Wherever you come across add notification, Rohini, you can click on this and you can link a topic. We have created a topic. I hope you remember the name of the topic is my topic 1. That will be available here. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So send notifications to SNS topic whenever the EC2 auto scaling launches or terminates the EC2 mission. So whenever the auto scaling automatically creates a new EC2 mission or terminates the EC2 mission, I will receive notification because I have created a topic and linking the topic in this particular notifications. Clear?
Yes,
So
sir.
like this, not only here, in any example, wherever you come across this term called add notification, the moment you click on add notification, you have to understand that you need to create a topic or you need to link the topic to that particular notification option. So that's how you can use notifications in any other services, whichever you want. Clear, Rohini?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Perfect. So I don't need this. I have shown you where exactly topics can be used. So I cancel this and then I remove the launch configuration which I have created. Next. I want to discuss about next service called CloudWatch. We have completed queuing service. We understand about notification service. Now I'm discussing about the next service called as CloudWatch. Now I'm discussing about the next service called as CloudWatch. If anybody asks you, do you have any exposure on monitoring service? The answer should be CloudWatch. Or if anybody asks you what is CloudWatch, the answer should be CloudWatch is a monitoring service. What do you mean monitoring? You can monitor the EC2 missions. It's a monitoring service. Rohini, you have created one EC2 mission. Okay. You want to know how much memory is full in that particular EC2 mission, how much RAM is consumed, how much CPU percentage is getting used, how many network packets are coming into that particular EC2 mission, how many network packets are going out. So all this kind of traffic can be monitored. All these metrics can be monitored by using a service called as CloudWatch. Okay. So let's experience how exactly CloudWatch helps in monitoring. So I'll be creating 2 EC2 missions, mission 1 and mission 2.
Yes, sir.
Instead, I can use this 2 servers, server 1 and server 2 instead of creating. So I'm starting the EC2 missions which I already have it. Let's wait for the EC2 missions to be started. Look at the names of the EC2 missions, is server 1 and server 2. Yes. Okay. Rohini, these two machines are running, server 1 and server 2. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I want to know how much CPU utilization is, how many CPU, how much percent of CPU is getting busy, and how much is free. Or I want to know the memory information. I want to know how many network packets are coming in, consuming, how many network packets are coming out. All these kind of metrics can be monitored, okay,
Yes,
using
sir.
an exclusive service called as
CloudWatch.
CloudWatch. So you know CloudWatch, Rohini, or is it the first time you're experiencing it?
I know that, but sir, I have not used explicitly.
Okay. So under where is CloudWatch? Under management and governance, we have a CloudWatch. Services, management and governance, and we have CloudWatch. This is the CloudWatch dashboard looks like. So go to metrics. And I want to look at the metrics of which service, Rohini? I want to look at the metrics of server and server 2 belongs to EC2 service. Okay, isn't it? So select EC2 per instance metrics. And you can see what are our machines. Our machines are server 1, isn't it? So this is controller. These are names of the machines. Total there. You can look for server 1. Or let's filter by instance ID. What's your instance ID? This is your instance ID. So server 1, you can see here network packets of that particular server 1, network packets in, network packets out. What is the CPU utilization of that particular server 1? What is the disk utilization, disk read operations, disk write operations? Okay, you have a lot of metrics, Rohini. So using all these metrics, you can monitor the network traffic. Okay, so for example, you can monitor any metric, whatever. I want to monitor CPU utilization.
Okay.
When you click on this, you can see the graph gets updated slowly. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So same information will also be shown in here in the monitoring tab. The same information is also shown in the monitoring tab. You don't need to exclusively switch to CloudWatch services. In the monitoring tab, you can see here CPU utilization is monitored. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Let's read theory. Monitoring tab helps you to get metrics like CPU utilization, disk read operations. All the metrics can be visible in the monitoring tab. And these metrics will be updated every 5 minutes. The frequency of metric report, what we get is every 5 minutes. Okay, this is called basic monitoring. Rohini, in this basic monitoring, you can get the graph for every 5 minutes. And this is called basic monitoring, and it is absolutely free. There's something called detailed monitoring. In the detailed monitoring, we get the metrics for every 1 minute. Every 1 minute. So it's a paid drive. You need to enable detailed monitoring. Here we have an option, enable detailed monitoring. Right now, what is basic monitoring? Basic monitoring gives you the report for every 5 minutes. If you enable detailed monitoring, you will get the report every 1 minute, and then the detailed monitoring is a paid service. Okay. So like this, using monitoring tab, you can check your infrastructure report. Or you can monitor your infrastructure using an exclusive monitoring service called as CloudWatch. Okay.
Yes, sir. One question I have, sir. It's
Yes.
minimum like 1 minute, or like we can watch it.
No. It's
also
fixed for 1 minute. You cannot get the update for every 30 seconds or something like that. You get the update every 1 minute. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Next. Very frequently asked question in the interview. Do you know how to define billing alarms? Okay. What is the importance of billing alarm? Can you guess, Rohini?
If you're costing over our limit, if you set a limit, it is crossing over that one. That
Then
should
we get a alarm, isn't it? Okay. Especially clients will define budget for infrastructure. Okay, Rohini, every client will dedicate a budget for infrastructure. Let's say client is having their missions on AWS. They say that, okay, we will be allocating $1,000 per month. We are ready to pay $1,000. This is our budget for the infrastructure cost.
Yes.
So as an AWS team, we should make sure that our client bill should not increase more than $1,000 because they have given us a budget of $1,000, isn't it?
Yes.
So it's always regular to monitor it. Let's say we can define an alarm for $250, we can define alarm for $500, we can define alarm for $750, and we can define alarm for $1,000. You can define 4 alarms so that whenever, let's say, 1 week has been completed, the first alarm got triggered. We can understand, okay, after 1 week we got 2. Now the bill is 250. Now the bill is 500. Now we got bill is 700. Isn't it? 750. That's how you can monitor it, because the client do not want surprises. Suddenly the bill is $2,000. Then who is answerable? Rohini as an AWS infrastructure team, we are answerable. Why the suddenly the bill has been increased?
Yes.
Okay. So it's always good to monitor. Okay. So using the billing alarms. Okay. So
Yes.
how can we define billing alarms? Especially for defining billing alarms, first thing what you need to do is you have to select in the billing preferences, you have to select receive billing alerts. In my account, option, under billing preferences, you have to select this option, receive billing alerts. I already have selected. That's first thing you have to do it. Next.
Navigation.
Especially for billing alarms, I recommend you to go to CloudWatch service and please select North Virginia region. Especially for defining billing alarms, I recommend all the participants to do that in the North. Billing alarm is not specific to region. It's specific to AWS account. So go to North Virginia region. Oh my God, already it looks like one. Fine. So right now I'm in North Virginia region. How can I create a billing alarms? We have an alarm, and then here we have an option of billing. And here we have a billing alarms, and I go for creating billing alarms. Okay, select a metric. The metric should be billing, and the metric should be total estimated charge.
Okay.
And I select the currency as US dollars, select metric. The metric name is estimated charges, the currency is US dollars, the threshold value static. If the total billing cost is greater than or equal to $1,000, okay, click on next. And here we have an option of topic. Isn't it, Rohini? We can add the topic, isn't it? In the simple notification service, okay, receive an alarm. We can add notification.
Yes, sir.
Are you understanding? You can add the topic. Okay, or you can create an alarm. So already how to create an alarm, it's we already know it. Better to create a topic and add notifications to that particular topic and click on next. That's it. So billing alarms very easy to create. So we have to define the condition. When the condition is true, the alarm we get an email saying that now the bill has been reached $1,000. Okay. So especially for billing alarms, I strongly recommend you to go to North Virginia region, because in the North Virginia region we have billing option. Okay, here we have an option of in alarms, it's called billing. I think let's say in Mumbai region, can you see billing here? No, we have only in alarm, all alarms.
Okay.
Then in North Virginia region, we have in alarm, all alarm, and billing. So this billing option is in North Virginia region. No matter your infrastructure may be in Mumbai region, that's not a problem. Switch to North Virginia region and create a billing alarm. Once that condition is true, we get a alert. Clear?
Yes.
So that's how we can define a billing alarm. Okay, perfect. So this is what I want to discuss in today's session. So what did we learn in today's session? we have learned about queuing service acts like a important role between the communication between the application web server and the application server. Notification service, as an AWS infrastructure team, you have to receive notifications when something is happening in the background. So we need to create a topic, add subscriptions to the topic. The topic we need to link it to wherever notification in any service, wherever you come across a term called notification, you can add that particular topic. CloudWatch is a monitoring service of AWS. You want to monitor the suddenly server may go down. You want to know the reason why the server is behaving slowly. It probably could be CPU utilization is not, the CPU is busy or memory is busy. So this kind of information you can get it by using a service called as CloudWatch. Okay, so this is what we have planned for today's session. Any questions? Please.
So actually, I'm not finding the email ID. Is it possible to type in
my email ID?
Yes, sir. I'll just note down.
Rutvij, how are you doing?
Hi, Sunil. Good morning. I'm fine, Sunil. How are you?
I'm doing well. Yes.
Thank you.
Question.
Sunil, wherever the topics,
yes.
So it is just a group of broadcast subscribers, right?
We
are distributing emails or SMS.
Yes.
We are not defining any conditions there in the
no
topics,
no
right?
conditions. Okay. We are just grouping email addresses into a topic. Isn't it?
Sunil. Yes.
Okay. Yes, that's all.
Thanks, Sunil. Bye.
Thank you. Krishna Prasad Karthik.
Hi, Sunil. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well, Krishna. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for your session. I have a quick question, right?
Yes.
For example, you consider I own an account and I have given the access to IAM. Now I wanted to check entire account. What are the services being used and utilized?
Okay.
Right.
Okay. That's called auditing service.
Right. How to
am I
utilize
right? I think you're talking about auditing service, isn't it? Let's say, Krishna, you have provided your account access to 5 child users, IAM users. Okay. Now you want to know user 1, did he create any S3 bucket? Did he create any EC2 mission? User 2, what he's doing? User 3, third user, what he's doing, isn't it? At what time that particular event is happening? So all this is possible using auditing service called CloudTrail.
CloudTrail means I suppose I wanted to know, as you know, told in the class that we can set a threshold on the whatever the infrastructure what we have, right? So on day-to-day basis, I wanted to monitor that one rather than going to.
I don't understand what is threshold. I don't.
Threshold. I mean threshold on the
bill.
On the billing, right?
Okay. No, it's not threshold. You cannot stop the bill. You can get an alarm.
Right. I got it. Means after that one, we will get an alarm that this has.
No, the bill has reached $500. Okay.
Right.
If it is as per the expectations, that's good. If it is something beyond expectation, then we will monitor it. What is causing bill to more? Probably did we add any new service or something like that? We can also start. We can always help in identifying the reason behind the bill. Okay, that helps, isn't it, Krishna?
Right. But I just wanted to know, right, how to list all the services which because I maybe have created many things I have not deleted. Like
yeah. So in AWS, there is no such. You want to see all the infrastructure which is there in all the regions. Okay, so that we can easily select it and delete it. Okay, so such kind of report, even I tried it many times. Okay, there's no such kind of report. So it's manually.
You're actually making a note. If we can go back and refer that one. But what if I don't make a notepad?
So we should be very we should be very careful. Unfortunately, there's no such option of dashboard where we can see list of all the infrastructure in across all the regions. Okay, so if it would be there, it will be very handy for us, isn't it, Krishna? So as of now, we don't have it.
Sunil, I have one more small question which is related to regulatory services, right? For example, whatever the services they are following, how to opt a specific regulatory requirement so that it will take care of the regulatory services. For example, GDPR and some other regulatory privacy regulatory is there, right? So there are service providers who are in different geos. Service means client, right? So how to, and you told one of the class, right, where we can use geologic location for setting.
That is for controlling the traffic from India should go to specific infrastructure, something like that.
Right. Similarly, like that, any other specific compliance or regulatory services which AWS is offering?
I need to check, Krishna. Okay, so even I'm unaware of it. Okay.
Because many times, right, the regulatory requirements.
Yes, especially in the government sector.
Right. ITAR and other stuff, right? So that we have to just restrict them.
Okay.
Let me know, service.
Okay, sure.
Sunil, if you
Okay.
got any information. Thank you.
Sure, Krishna. Okay. You're from which location?
I'm from Bangalore.
Okay. Happy. How is your experience of learning AWS?
It's fantastic, actually. Initially, many people told me from my ages, right, to start learn AWS because I am working on regulatory and compliance services, right?
Okay.
So many people said, technically, I started my journey as an administrator. Then I moved to compliance services.
Okay.
So many people told me to learn AWS, but I was
ignoring.
Not intended to learn cloud itself because we were in legacy. This one, let me continue. That, I come out of that box because of your training.
Thank you. You also referred by your friend or someone?
Right. Yogesh is my friend, actually.
Okay. You're happy with it now, Krishna.
Very much.
Thank you.
Thank you
very much. Tomorrow I need to take my daughter to eye clinic, so I may not be available. Okay, I may not be available. You'll get the update in the WhatsApp group. Okay, thank you all, and see you next session, where we'll next session plan is cloud trial and snowball, cloud formation, elastic beanstalk. So there are few miscellaneous services which needs to be provided. Okay, so there could be maximum 1 session or 2 sessions more for completing this particular batch. Okay, thank you all, and see you tomorrow. See you maybe tomorrow or after tomorrow. I'll update you in the group. Thank you.